When discussing week 9, day 3 for transversals, here we see that a transversal is a line that cuts through a set of parallel lines. So some key vocabulary that goes along with this lesson is vertical angles, each of the pairs of opposite angles made by two intersecting lines. Here, this is an example of vertical angles. We see that it is where two lines are intersecting, and on both sides, those angles equal to each other, so that makes them congruent. Then we have supplementary angles, which are two angles that add up to the sum of 180 degrees. So in this example here, we see that these two angles, 120 and 60 degree, when added together, equal to 180 degrees. Alternate interior angles are formed when a transversal passes through two lines. The angles that are formed on opposite sides of the transversal and inside the two lines are alternate interior angles. Here we see that we have a transversal. Line L cuts through lines M and lines N. And our two inside angles, 1 and 4, that are on opposite sides of each other are our alternate interior angles. And it is important to note that they are two congruent, so they have the same value. Alternate exterior angles are a pair of angles on the outer side of each of those two lines, but on both opposite sides of the transversal. So here's an illustration of that. Here we have a transversal line that cuts through lines L and lines M, and our alternate exterior angles are angles 1 and 2. They are outside of the transversal but on opposite sides of each other, so they are alternate exterior angles. And it is important to know that they too are congruent. So their degree measure is the same. So let's look at this. Now we have a transversal, and we want to let's point out two examples of vertical angles found here in this transversal. So we can say that 1 and 3 are vertical angles to each other, as well as 5 and 7, which are vertical angles. And then when looking for a set of alternate interior angles, we can say that 3 and 5 are a set of alternate interior angles, as well as 4 and 6. And when looking at a set of alternate exterior angles, we can say that 1 and 7 are a set of alternate exterior angles, and 2 and 8 are also a set of alternate exterior angles. And this is how we would go through a transversal and be able to point out its vertical, alternate interior, and alternate exterior angles.